Hi guys, Uncle Mike again. I was the other day, I was over at the sporting goods store and seen two kids trying to get their dad to buy them these paracord bracelets. I've seen a lot of these paracord bracelets all over the place now, and everybody's wearing them. And I didn't know if it was just a fad or what the thing is with these things. And I got to talking to the kids because, here a while back they were wearing just a single strand of paracord around their arm and called it a friendship bracelet. Then they went to these plastic straps around their arm that says support our troops. And then and now everybody's wearing paracord bracelets. So I thought maybe it was just a fad. And the kid said, no, they're a survival tool. And I said, well, how will something like this help you survive? And he said, well, in this little bracelet is supposed to be 8 foot of paracord. So if you need paracord to hang up a tarp or strap down your tent or hang up a hammock or something like that, there's some paracord for you. And then when you get done, I guess my question was, what happens when you get done with your paracord? How do you put it back together? And the kid said, we don't. We get Dad to buy us another one. So that got me thinking right there, because this dad is not going to sit there and spend money like this every time their kids tear them apart. Anyway, I was looking at the prices on these things, and there's various prices. You can get them from, I don't know, $3.50 is for the cheapest ones. Most of them are about $6.50, $7. If you get the ones that have inside these things here, they'll be woven a couple of fish hooks, some spider wire, and a couple of split shots, I guess. And they wrap it up in tin foil, and then they braid it in between the two layers of this thing. And those they can go for $10, $12, somewhere in that area. Sometimes you can see them up as high, I don't know. I've seen some of them $15, $20, depending on what they have in them. Some of them have a flint, which is kind of neat, a flint and a striker, and some of them have little knives in them, and they're just all kinds of different stuff that you can put in them, I guess. But like I'm saying, they're the cheapest that you can get these things for is about $3.50, and they go up from there. So I started thinking, well, I'm not going to spend that kind of money for a bracelet. Paracord would be kind of handy to have if you needed it, but I'm going to learn how to do it myself. So if I tear it apart, I can put it back together, and I don't have to spend this, the money to buy one. So I went out and I started looking at these videos on YouTube, and I picked me up some buckles and some paracord. I think it's called Crazy Mike's over in Kennewick. It's a Army surplus store, sells paracord. It's 100 feet for about $11. I think $10.99, which is going price on the internet. You can get it cheaper if you don't get the same brand name. I've seen it as low as I think $7.50 for 100 feet of it. That's for the 550, and the 550 will hold up 550 pounds. But anyway, let me flip my camera around. I'll show you what I've been up to lately. I got carried away. Got bored, and since I was fiddling around with the paracords, I decided to make a few here. And this is the paracord that I'm talking about. It's just your standard parachute cord, but when I was growing up, you get it in OD green, white, and I think they came out with black. Now you can get it in all kinds of different colors. This is kind of a camo, an OD camo, I guess, or outdoor camo, and black. And let's see, they got this is their desert camo, and you can get it pink, blue, yellow, green. I mean, whatever color you want, they make it. Trust me. The guy's got a whole wall full of this stuff. Anyway, I made some of these two-tone colors, the green and the desert camo. These here have the small buckle on them. Nope, that one's got the medium-sized buckle. That was a medium-sized buckle there, or standard buckle. These have, the little ones here have the smaller buckle on them. Those are for girls, or for the daintier wrist, I guess. Then I made some here in the green and different types of buckles on them. Thought that U-bolt thing there was, or I don't know what they call it, a clevis or whatever. It was kind of a neat design, and that would work neat for a buckle, so I put one of those on one of them. Here's some that, these here are called a ladder braid. The ladder rack braid is a lot wider, a lot nicer on your wrist because you don't have the knots sticking up, and you can weave stuff into them. I made a couple of different colors of these here. These here are called a cobra braid right here, and it's standard. That's what's standard on most of your bracelets that you're going to find. Made a keychain. These are also the same braid as what we used to use when I was like about 14 and in Scouts, and they had this little flat braided stuff here. We used to make lanyards for compasses or your whistles or whatever, but it's basically the same braid. Here's another different type of braid here, but you know, once I knew how to do these, doing these paracords wasn't very hard at all. This actually here, this round braid here, is actually the same braid here, done with just a different material. And so what I did on this one here, instead of having a buckle on it, you know, round, something skinny and round, and have a massive buckle on it, I just went with a finishing knot and a loop, and that worked out pretty good. Here's another one here. This is actually, this is a cobra weave, but this is a double cobra weave. After getting it all done, though, I found out that I ended up putting my buckles on upside down, so this is what's on the outside, which is supposed to be the inside, and this is now what's on the inside, which is supposed to be on the outside. I learned my lesson when I was doing it, and came back and I decided to make a collar for the dog, and I made this one here, but I got this one right. So the right braid is on the outside. Wove a D-ring into it. Oops, down here, so that, you know, I got something I can hang the dog's dog tags on, hook his leash onto it. This one's actually got a little whistle inside of it here too. They call it a survival whistle. Now I doubt like heck anybody's gonna hear it. Listen to this thing. Not much of a whistle. I don't think the dog's gonna blow it anyway, but it's there. Made this is called a monkey's fist, or a monkey fist knot, I guess they called it. But put that into something with a handle on it, so you hook it around your hand here, and it's like a bonker. You can bonk somebody up beside the head with that, and that's got a golf ball inside there, so I guess that would leave a little bit of a knot on the side of the guy's head. Then I decided to make some of these here for myself. Most of those over there will probably go to Travis. These here are the ones that I wear. Got me a skull on that one too, and different types there, different colors. Oh, I forgot the one that I'm actually wearing. This one here, the ones that I've got there, these with the ladder rack don't have 8-foot. They got 12-foot cord in them, so you got more cord if you actually need to use this stuff. So it's kind of handy on that part there, but I like them better because they're flat and a lot smoother. And then I got the one that I'm wearing here. Being that they're made with 12-foot cord, or no, yeah, 12-foot cord, what you can do is you can take two pieces, 6-foot long, bind the ends together there where you melt the ends, and then you stick them together until they're one piece again. And then you go ahead and do it in two different colors, which gives you kind of a neat pattern on your bracelet. Also decided to do a dog leash. I wanted something that was long enough. I've got a couple of these 5-foot cord or leashes, and the dog just drags me all over the place with it. So this one here is a little over 9 feet. I didn't know what to do when I came down to the end here to finish it. I was going to try to weave the cord back in through itself and finish it that way, but found that it was getting a little bit hard to weave 4 laces of cord back in through itself here, and I thought, no, that's not going to happen. So I put a finishing knot on it, brought it through the thing, and then put another finishing knot on the other side there, and then melted off the ends. And that's not going to go anywhere. It's secure enough. I think it'll hold the dog. if he pulls through that and pulls it out, then I'm going to have to slap the dog. But anyway, what you're going to need though to poke that through like that is these needles. And you can, this is threaded, and you just screw it right over the top of your cord here. But to make these needles, now you can buy them on the internet, and they're selling for $7, $8, as low as I think $6 was the cheapest one I found. But this is actually called a binding bolt, and you find it over at Lowe's, and they're in their specialty bolts section in their drawers. And let me show you here. This is what the packaging looks like. Actually, if I move that, you probably actually get the part number right there. 880986, something like that. This is the part number. It's called a binding bolt. This is what it looks like here. It's got this kind of a head on one end, and then a screw on the other end that screws into the hollow part. Let me see here. What you do is this has actually got two pieces here. This is right about where my thumb is at, is a joint, and this is an extension. So you got the 2-inch bolt and then a 1-inch extension. That makes it 3 inches, so it's long enough that you can use it. But you take the screw out of the end here, which is threaded. The other end will have that same head on it. You fasten this thing into your cordless drill and start it spinning, and then set it up against your belt sander, and you just sand that head off until you get down, and then you taper it down a little bit. You want to round these tips off though. I got this one a little bit too sharp, and it tends to poke through the sheathing of the paracord, and you don't want it to go through the sheath. You want it to push it aside and find its way through the gaps. So round those tips off a little bit more if you can. That one there is a little bit too sharp. But anyway, this is what I've been up to for the past week. Playing around, got busy, and started making some toys, I guess, or whatever you call them. But it kept me busy anyway. Got me out of trouble. I'm going to make another leash one of these days to match the collar here. I want to go with the same dark and light color in the leash as I did with the collar, but I ran out of the light colored stuff, so I went with I think this is black, and yeah, I think it's black and then the green OD camo color. So anyway, talk to you guys later. Till I found another project to keep me busy. Anyway, bye.